Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm Lorraine Tierney. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. It is Monday, April 8th, and I am airing a video recording that I made. Today is the day of the solar eclipse, and I have gone to Vermont to watch it with my grandson and his parents and enjoy it through the eyes of an excited 5-year-old. I remember seeing the one in the 70s in my yard with my dad, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I couldn't resist the opportunity to do that. And with traffic, I didn't think I'd be back in time to get on live at 7. So today we're going to make a pop-up box fold card. I think there's a lot of different names for it, but it's a fun type of card to make. I think you'll like it, and we're going to go ahead and make that together. So let me get my camera switched over, and then I'll show you what we're going to make. We're going to use these Garden Meadow, Meandering Meadow papers. It goes with the Garden Meadow stamp set. So they're really, whoa, that was something. Really pretty scenery kinds of papers. They have meadows, meandering meadow, and kind of solid colors on the back or washes on the back. They're very pretty. I've been enjoying using these. So we're going to use a couple of those. And we're going to use the Garden Meadow stamp set. These are both online exclusive, so you can shop for these at shop.chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. That's my online store for Stampin' Up. So these are great. They have dies that go with them, and we're going to use a couple of those dies today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get my trimmer in view a little better. I don't know why this is so different every time I get set up here. Let's see. I want to go this way a little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut our piece of paper to 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, and on this piece, I'm going to put out my arm because we're going to do a bunch of scoring. We're going to score this piece at 5 1/2, which is the typical scoring it in half. Then 6 3/4, then 8 3/4, and then 10. I'll say that one more time in case you want to write that down. This will probably go in a blog post, but not for a few days. So we did 5 1/2, 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and 10. All right, that's it for that piece. I can put this back in. Now on this piece, we are going to cut it to 5 5/8. So that's just a little bit more than 5 1/2. 5 5/8. And then cut this down to 2 3/4. Okay, and we don't need those pieces. We'll just use this. And on this one, we're going to score it at 3/8 and 1 5/8. So that's 3/8 and 1 5/8. Okay, and that's all the scoring and cutting that we need to do. And so now we'll burnish these folds. So this piece is going to look like that. I'll put that right there. And then this one is going to make the box part of our card. Okay, So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. We're going to fold up 2 sections. I'm going to put a piece of white paper under here so you can see that there are just 2 sections there. And at the very top section, I'm going to put a thin line of glue. Okay, now I have to take that out of the way. And then I'm just going to close the card. I'm keeping that folded, and I'm just going to close the card. And that's going to put that piece exactly where I want it to make the box. You can see that box fold part. Okay, so we need to decorate this. And I started with a 6x6 piece of paper. And I wanted the blueberry bushel stuff from the back. So I cut it to 4 inches wide because my card base is 4. So I cut the whole 6-inch piece right to 4 inches. And this is a whole 6-inch side. This top piece is 3 1/4. This is 1 inch. And then this is the last piece you have left, which would be 3. That's not 3 3/4. That looks like 2 3/4. 1 3/4. That's 1 3/4. I wrote that down wrong. Let's fix that. And so these add up to your 6-inch piece, I believe. Yep, right up to number 6. So that's a 4 by 6-inch piece of DSP cut into those pieces, and we're going to put them on here. I just thought they would add a nice little bit of color and texture back here. I'm leaving a little border all the way around. I have a 1-inch piece to go on this, so I'm just kind of squishing it down so I can see that 1-inch part. And again, there's a border around that. And then this front piece. You can see how quickly this kind of a card comes together. We've done this in the Zoom class that I do on Tuesday nights a couple of times. I don't remember if I've done it in a video before. Okay, so now we have our little hook piece that's going to go on like this and be the front of the card. Okay, so this little only part that gets glued is this little tiny 3/8 of an inch flap. And I'm going to do the same thing. Where's my piece of white that I had? I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm folding over 2 sections, but they're going to come over this way. And that narrow little section is the only part that gets glue on it. Just that little 3/8 strip. Okay, you can see that. And I'm going to leave it with the 2 sections folded down. And I'm going to line that up with the top of my card. And I'm going to try to center it. I'm going to use my grid paper, and it looks like 3 squares on the outside here will be just perfect. Okay. Now remember, only that little tiny part is attached. This part is freely moving. Okay, I think you can see that. And then you close it up. That lines up with the top. And we're just going to glue this down right where that folds up. Okay, just like that. It kind of makes all the guesswork go away if you just fold the card the way you would to put it in an envelope, because it fits very nicely in our regular envelope. Okay, so there's the box fold. And now I have another piece. This is still 6 inches, and this is 2.5, 6 by 2.5. And I want to put this part of the scene on here. So I'm going to cut this 2.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to keep it so that I get the top part of that scene. 3 3/4. Okay, so that's going to go right here. And then I need a 1-inch piece. I forgot to measure that. Where's my ruler? Yep, that's 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch piece to go there. And I'm going to use the other side again, because I don't think I want meadow flowers on the top right there. I think I'll just turn it over and put the blue there. So let's do that. Put these 2 pieces on. I seem to have some glue stuck to the tip of my glue bottle. There we go. Okay, so that's centered right there. That's really pretty. And then we'll put this on, and then we just have a little bit of decorating to do. There we go. So we have that. I thought I would cut the rain boots in a watering can and a little sentiment. Now, I didn't check this out ahead of time. So when this card is folded, I don't want my sentiment to come up higher than the edge of the card, because it would not fit in an envelope. So I don't think I want that sentiment on the front of the card. I think we'll just do a little bit of this stuff. So I'm going to start with my light Daffodil Delight. Oh, I want to color the rain boots with yellow. It's not my watering can. So first I'm going to do my light, and I'm using the thick basic white to do my blending on. I'm going to make this little buckle here, a little bit of pecan pie, and I'm going to put, I want a little bit of darker color right in there. And now I'm going to blend that in and give it a few seconds to dry, and it takes a little bit to blend in itself. And then I'm going to add some darker Daffodil Delight over that. Okay. So you can see I just did a little bit of shading on those. On the watering can, I'm going to start again with the light. I usually start with my light. This is Smoky Slate. I don't know why I took that bullet tip, probably because it was skinny up there. but I'm going to use the brush. Okay. And I'm going to feather in some darker colored. I'm just going to kind of flick that to try to get a little bit of roundiness in there. I'm not sure that's really a word, roundiness, but that's what I'm going for. I'm going to do a little pecan pie up there, and just on the inside, I don't want it to be so much gray, all the same color. So I'm going to try a little pecan pie under that, and then a little, there we go, a little light smoky slate over it just to give it a little different color. So that's my watering can and my rain boots. Those look pretty good. I'm going to bring them over here and just run those through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I use a little bit of Post-it note tape to hold them in place. So I don't like when they move on me. And this is what we have. The rain boots and our watering can. So I think I'll pop the rain boots up. Oh, I got something sticky on that. There we go. And the watering can on this side. Or do we want them both in front? Maybe like that. Oh, my fingers are sticky. Or like this. I don't know. I think I like the boots over there and this over here. So I'm going to get a couple of dimensionals. This is going to be partly on, I'm going to use the little dimensionals. So it's going to be partly overlapping a higher spot. And I just want a tiny little dimensional to hold that on. So these mini ones are good for that. If you don't have the minis, you can always cut your dimensionals. So there's that one. And then I'm going to do just the opposite on this one. That's going to need the dimensionals on the side that's further away. Oh, I'm having trouble getting that paper off. Okay. Oh, I did that. No, I did that right. Okay. There you go. I feel like I wish I had a little sentiment right there. What could we stamp right there? This is dangerous to stamp directly on my card, because if I mess it up, I've messed up the whole card. But I'm going to try it because I'm going to live dangerously. Okay, so I'm going to go for hello right up there in this nice cursive. Let's ink it up a little better than that. Okay. Maybe I should have used blueberry bushel, but I didn't. But I like that. So a nice hello on the front with our watering can and our rain boots. I need just, I'm going to put a glue dot under there because I think I can control that a little better. I didn't grab my take your pick tool, so I'm going to use my scissors to pick that up, and I'm going to fold the glue dot in half. And put it under. There we go. And I think I'll do the same thing with the rain boots. You don't want your little things to fall off. Just provide a little extra security. Now, we'll use the back for writing our message, and it's fairly smooth to write on. Might be a little bit bumpy, but we're going to go ahead and put this on. And I think I'll put my every day is a fresh start sentiment that I like on the back, since I couldn't fit it on the front. And then we will be done with our pop-up box card. So I'm using Memento ink because that's what I put on the front. And get this nice and straight. Every day is a fresh start. Sometimes we need that reminder that things will be okay. We can start again. And go from there. Okay. So here, little sticky stuff we go. There's the back of the card, and here is the front. I think that's just really cute and fun. It stands up very nicely. You can play with it a little bit to get it to stand just the way you want it. It has a little bit of tilt so that you can see the front of it. And you can put it in an envelope. It just, whoops, folds right down and fits into an envelope. So I hope that you will try making this card. I hope you'll find it fun. And I know that whoever receives it will really like it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I love to make cards. I love to send cards. And I love to help other people make cards. So have a great rest of your Monday night. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.